Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another casted game for Age of Empires 4, and we've got a fantastic game for you. It's going to be Vinchester versus 3DB. So we all know 3DB, who's playing in the right side of the map here in red as the Roos. Now, a little bit of introduction for Vinchester. He is a Age of Empires 2 professional player. He's just qualified for the road to Red Bull, well, just qualified for the main event, the Red Bull Wololo Legacy for Age of Empires 2, and it looks like he might be trying his hand at Age of Empires 4. Wouldn't that be an amazing sight to see another Age of Empires 2 pro player in Age of Empires 4? We saw Doubt coming over just to try and qualify for the main event, Red Bull Wololo Legacy. And imagine Vinchester trying to do the same. And it's certainly going to be looking good for Age of Empires 4 and the Age of Empires 2 community as a franchise altogether. And I think that's been their plan. It just seems like a good thing overall for the franchise. Both games are very different, and it makes sense that both players are going to be kind of gunning for that. So we have got Vinchester playing in the north as the English civilization in purple. Map being mega random. Let's take a look at the spawn. Obviously, the spawn's going to be very, very key and important. There is this kind of central pond towards the northeast, splitting the two players. And we've got a couple of ponds elsewhere as well with deep water fish. So fishing is certainly going to be key. There is this big, big pond here with a lot of fish on the west side of the map. That kind of, I mean, it kind of can work for both players, actually. It's a relatively equal spawn. You do have this nice deep water fish pond here with 4 tiles of deep water fish and quite a few shorefish. So that's actually slightly better than what Vinchester has at his disposal. Looking at the relics, there are 2 in the center of the map. Sacred sites, there's 1 in the middle, and 1 a bit further out is kind of midline as well. So that could be an interesting part of the game, the sacred site fight. And we do see now 3DB going to be cut out of the sheep so far already. Quite a few here for Vinchester being brought in for the English. Do you see a traditional build from Vinchester though? 5 villagers on sheep, 5 on wood. Actually, it's not that traditional. We're expecting more villagers on food, but it might be because of the dock going down. That is indeed the case. It does have a villager going on the shorefish. One of the fastest sources of food in the game. That is for sure. Both Age of Empires 2 and Age of Empires 4 for that matter. And could we see some trading? There's actually coastal trade posts. I'm sure it won't be happening because they're just so close to the actual main dock position. And let's take a look at the bounty, because that's going to be very important for 3DB. Playing as the Roos, we'll want to get that 250 gold bounty at least. That will give him a decent amount of gold to get up to the next stage. Let's take a look if he's going for the wheelbarrow. That's often a key part of the build. You can see that little tile there I'm missing there. That does mean wheelbarrow has been researched for Vinchester. Sorry, for 3DB as the Roos, which is a very typical build. And it kind of lends himself to a really nice dock opening. That wood count going to be pumping into fishing ships. The English are no strangers to collecting wood, though. They do heavily rely on that wood income, especially for the longbows, and we'll be relying on that wood income today for the dock here. Mr. Vinchester bringing those sheep back at home, now transitioning to gold. So he does have 7 villagers on food, a decent number on wood, and now he's transitioning to gold, looking to get up to the food age relatively soon after that. Will take some time with only 2 villagers so far. Will be interesting to see if he adds another. Edging towards that 250 bounty there, almost at the mark that he needs. 205, we'll be able to take out that wolf and add to the bounty there. And just getting a couple of extra sheep will do the job for 3DB. Oh, long mining that. Vinchester just missed out on building that mining camp, didn't get up in time, and now has a bit of idle time, not ideal for him. We can kind of accept that for Vinchester. He's not going to be as smooth, I suspect, with these Age of Empires 2 player that we've come to see and love. He did fantastically well to qualify for the main event. Looking forward to seeing him there. And, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a lot of shore fishing here for 3DB. That food income is going to be pretty insane here. 8 villagers on that shoreline. And that food is going to be absolutely gobbled up by these villagers, taking that shorefish back to the Roos civilization. Neither player on the way up just yet. 3DB has a lot of gold, though. Surprisingly, he's not going up. Is now going up with the Golden Gate, using 5 villagers as expected, actually maybe more. He's going to add 7 villagers to go up to a fast feud age. Is Saul's Vinchester, is he going to be getting his landmark up? He is indeed going with 3 villagers for the council hall. Typical builds, typical choices here for both civilizations. Quite heavy on gold there, so actually rather surprising. Could Vinchester be going for a fast castle? I mean, that's what is kind of alluded to here. 7 villagers on gold, that's a heck of a lot. He's got 1 dock here. They're probably going to be able to fight it out. And I feel like actually at this point, Vinchester does have the better civilization on water. Of course, the English having access to the galley. An incredibly strong archer ship will be able to do some damage against these lodger fishing ships. They're not the greatest when they come to the feudal age with the attack lodger ships. And do we see any more expansions here? We don't. We might be able to have an expansion here for 3DB as the game wears on, and he will be building up that wood count. Doesn't have a wooden fortress just yet. That wooden fortress would be quite nice for 3DB in this position. Wooden fortress, of course, actually being able to boost up the wood income. Costing 175 wood is rather on the expensive side compared to other outposts, but it is a bit of a special one. It does increase the amount of wood returned to the lumber camp or the town centre by 20%. That is a huge amount. You couple that with wheelbarrow, and it can be an incredibly strong economy boost. And you can see 350 bounty, well over that 250 mark that we kind of set the target for. And double stable, early night's going to be on the field. Vinchester's going to have to be careful. He's going to need to get some barracks off for some spearmen, I suspect. Going quite heavy on gold. Might be caught out here. I don't think he's going to get to the castle age anytime soon. The balance is not really ideal here. As you can see, he's got quite an even amount of resources of everything really at this point. But we'll need to counter those knights coming out. This could just be a practice game. I suspect it probably will be. Of course, Vinchester hasn't played Age of Empires 4 for a very long time. It's not actually going to be knights out for 3DB. It's actually going to be horsemen. There is Vinchester's age up with the council hall. Does he queue up some galleys? I think the gold is really for the galley play. Let's see a lodger attack ship does idle a lot of the fishing ships. There are 5 of them garrisoned inside those 2 town centres. Not town centres, rather. The 2 docks. Is building up a couple of galleys, though, from both docks. So should be able to fight this back. And you know what? Vinchester might win the water as long as he can survive for a bit longer. The lodger attack ships don't really do too much damage to the docks. So it should be fine for now. I think Vinchester's going to push that back on the waters. And in counter, 3DB is going to be pushing on land, getting some horsemen here, trying to torch out those docks. That could become an issue if the galleys don't come out quick enough. The galleys will certainly need to be coming out quicker to try and deny this. And a couple more lodger attack ships. So 3DB has not given up the waters just yet. We just saw the conversion happening there, 4 of them. That's actually going to be doing pretty decent, but the 2 galleys out now should be able to deal with this. Take a close look. The fishing ship's coming out as well to repair the galleys. Nicely done. Nice micro there by 3DB. It's what we come to expect. Does just about get away with that. Oh, that's a bit rough there for Vinchester. Not sniping that lodger attack ship in time. But a lot of horsemen here. And a scout in for the mix. So Vinchester might not actually win the waters if he loses a second dock. That's going to become a problem because 3DB is looking to get a second dock of his own. And will 3DB actually win the water? That would be pretty crazy if he does. Considering the English should have the advantage. Does lose that second dock. And now the galley is going to start to focus fire on... Well, was about to turn their attention to the horsemen, but now has to focus fire on the lodger attack ships. Vinchester being pipped to the post here by taking that dock out. And he's going to struggle here on water. Looks like he's focusing attention now on land. Getting a couple of spearmen out, but they're not really in the position he needs them. He needs to keep hold of this second dock. He needs to keep one of these docks at least. And if he keeps producing those galleys, he might have a window back into the game. Certainly turning into a water fight here. Look at the amount of cavalry here. Vinchester not paying attention with his scouts. He might lose all his sheep. That will be hugely painful. That's a lot of food income, although he is relying on the waters anyway. It does look like these sheep aren't going to be taken. They were hiding in the stealth forest. He might have forgotten about them. And now the sheep get taken by 3DB. What a heist. What a sheep heist. Now he's going to bring those sheep back home. Not that he really needs it. Got 2 lodger fishing ships. It will certainly help though. If he does need a transition to farming, that will be delayed with the sheep that's already there underneath the town centre. And the plenty that are being brought back home. 7 of them. Galley's pushing forward, looking to try and snipe some of the lodger attack ships. But there's quite a lot here for 3DB. This is becoming a problem for Vinchester. He's struggling on water, he's struggling on land as well. But the 3 galleys should be able to do some damage with good micro here. The problem for Vinchester is that whilst he's now focusing on the lodger attack ships, the horsemen, they're going to try and snipe out that dock. The spearmen are getting in position now. These guys have been upgraded to hardened spearmen. Galleys need to snipe these out. These keep getting good value. They keep going back to the docks to heal up and repair. That's not what Vinchester will want. Back on land, he's now being pretty active with these spearmen, but might be caught out by the mobility for 3DB's horsemen. Going to be diving on that wood line, maybe they can take out a village or 2. He's going to be running underneath the town centre. The English town centre does do higher output of damage. So the horsemen do just back off. And they're going to go around the rosies, going around the forest, going to attack the dock again. And now the galleys head back. They're kind of getting outnumbered here. As you can see, these guys, these attack lodger ships are not particularly strong. But in numbers, they might be able to take a decent fight. And that's looks like what 3DB is going to try and do. Is definitely a navy fight here on Mega Random. A couple of horsemen are sniped now. That's going to offer some protection for this second dock. I just wonder whether Vinchester might need to try and invest in another dock when he gets a chance. But look at the micro here for 3DB, pulling back the weak lodger attack ship, and now might lose the first galley. And that's a bit painful. Losing a galley in this circumstance is not ideal. And the lodger attack ships is really starting to build up in numbers again. Another one being microed here. The micro for 3DB is totally on point. Vinchester struggling at this point on water. 11 minutes on the clock. This is certainly turning into a navy fight. 3DB again pulling away the weak ones. And Vinchester taking a lot of damage with the galley. This is certainly a lesson in archership micro coming out for 3DB here. Takes another galley, and now the waters will belong to 3DB. Galley is chasing after the lodger attack ship, but with 2 docks there repairing, it's not going to be enough. And now this galley does go down for Vinchester. And the lodger attack ships reigning supreme on Mega Random for 3DB at this point. Vinchester going for a quite hard farm transition. It's not untoward, not unexpected, considering the number of sheep he lost earlier. But the English do have cheaper farms, and it is more efficient for them to be farming compared to other civilizations. So not all is lost. Going to get an outpost on that gold. Maybe looking to get up to the castle age. It's lacking the food, plenty of gold. And the eco balance not quite right here for Vinchester. Double stable blacksmith there for 3DB, spending all the resources he has, still continuing to invest in horsemen. Quite a large number of them, quite a few spearmen on the field for Vinchester. Doesn't have the mobility he needs though with those. Kind of trying to hunt them down. We'll get a good hit here. Does take down a horseman pretty cheaply. Horseman numbers start to build up, and now these attack ships could actually be converted to fishing ships. As you can see, all of these guys just been converted there nicely for the Rus, and now that fishing economy will be incredible for the Rus. Of course, these fishing ships don't actually have to transport the fish all the way back to the dock. They can just drop off where they are. And it's going to be triple stable here for Vinchester. Going up to the next stage with the King's Palace, this does unlock a second town centre, but that's going to be scouted. Not only that, it's going to be denied by Vinchester. The villagers need to pull back. They're going to try and do the short bow trick on them. They're not going to be enough of them. He has to pull back. There's no spearmen. These guys can't manage it themselves. Pulls the villagers off the wood line as well. Going to have to retreat back. We're looking to get that King's Palace on the gold. A bit of a surprise not to see the King's Palace here next to the wood line and the fish there. He's going to go up to protect that gold. It makes some sense because he wants to keep that gold alive and protected so he can pump out the knights when he does get to the castle age. But 3DB won't be too far away from that castle age himself. Let's have a look. Halfway there, Vinchester getting an outpost there on that position on that wood line. They're going to protect that position. Now the wooden fortress goes down. That is going to bolster up the wood count for 3DB rather extensively. A lot of fishing ships here. That food income is going to be insane. Let's take a look at the income per minute. As you can see, 1,500 food and rising. 1,600 versus the 800. Almost double here, the food income for 3DB versus Vinchester. But Vinchester does have the castle age in his belt, and now he can actually start to pump out some knights. Those will do some damage. He does have a bit of a lead time here on this, but I suspect we'll see the castle age coming out for 3DB before too long. Has invested quite a lot of the food though. Going towards the left side, Vinchester has docked here on the left, actually quite nicely with 2 docks, but that has been discovered. He needs to try and defend this position. The spearmen are on hand, so this is a nice expansion here for Vinchester. That food income will start to skyrocket for him again. A couple of archers here being added for 3DB. Going to be feudal age aggression here for 3DB. Now the horse, we're going to dive in, going to be torching out that dock, and again, Vinchester might have his fishing economy denied. Not ideal. He doesn't have any counters to the archers yet. The knights aren't around. He's going to need those knights. They're coming now. But 1 dock should probably be going down here. The HP really plummeting because of the horsemen. And a couple of knights there mixed in as well. The 2 knights here for Vinchester probably won't be enough. And that's the issue. He doesn't have any more reinforcements coming in just yet. There's 1 more coming out. But it's going to be a delay here. Does have castle age units versus feudal age units. But I think 3DB is going to take the fight. It looks like it. It's going to use the early knights to fight off and just hold on for as long as it can. I'm going to try and take the dock out with the horsemen. Gonna make an effective trade here. The archer's swooping in to get some damage output as well. I think Vinchester's gonna lose his water, and if he does, that'll be a big problem for him. Looks like B is going to be docking the south area as well, going to be denying the waters from that position and having access to the southern pond for fishing. There's that feudal age uptime going up to the castle age now, from feudal to castle age for 3DB. What's it going to go up with? Is it going to be the high trade house, or is it going to be the Abbey of the Trinity? It's actually going to be the high trade house. I was expecting to see the Abbey of the Trinity come out, but it will be the high trade house. We don't often see this landmark, but it generates gold like a hunting cabin, with the value increased by 400%, and deer also spawns every 60 seconds, so gives food and gold, which is perfect for the roost to pump out those knights in the castle age. A couple of knights going to be raiding out that wood line. There is a wooden fortress for the villagers to hide in if they would decide to. And that's exactly what happens. Just one archer won't be enough. The knight will continue to raid. Another blacksmith going down for 3DB. He's looking to upgrade his units incredibly fast once he does get up to the castle age. Now the knights here for Vinchester will be hounding down those archers. Actually going to be rather painful for 3DB. Does wall this back up with the fortified palisade walls. There is a galley now on the field for Vinchester. Does have that dock there, right side by side. That's being torched as well, and reinforcements aren't going to be able to protect the stock now. There is the new age for 3DB getting up to the castle age now. Where is that knight? I think it's been taken out for Vinchester finally. Oh no, it's still there, still fighting off. But it does get taken out by the early knights. These guys will be upgraded, I'm sure. Just a matter of time. There's still a galley there, so there's still fishing economy here for Vinchester. It's not out of the water yet. Still on this water. It's going to be docking the north side. Is not able to deny a lot of fishing ships here. But Vinchester is bringing villagers here. Going to go to this big gold mine. 8,000 gold is run out of gold at home. That has to be brought into consideration. There's not actually all that much gold back in the primary bases. They're having to venture out in uncharted territory, in dangerous territory, neutral territory, in the middle of no man's land. And as you can see now, the villagers being picked apart here. The outpost will go up, but we'll only be able to house 5 villagers. The rest will go down. They'll be sieged down. And Vinchester losing a heck of a lot of villagers. Does have 80 3DB versus the 53 3DB. Plentiful of economy units. Most of those will be fishing ships, but of course those are incredibly good as well. Oh, there was a big demo there, I suspect. For Vinchester, we missed it. There's a lot going on the map, and those villagers do all go down. And the problem for Vinchester now, it doesn't have a safe access to gold. That is a huge issue. Meanwhile, 3DB has 30 villagers on gold, not to mention the high trade house, which is now bringing in 97 gold per minute. Looks like it was another demo. Oh, it's actually the demo for the Rus. 3DB taking out some fishing ships there. The Knight's still getting some value here for Vinchester, but he's so far behind on economy. He might struggle as long as the game goes on, and these fishing ships, if this was converted into an attack ship, this could be denied. It will take a bit of time for that to happen. They won't be on hand to do so. Villagers looking to get an outpost on that gold in. That's the only gold that Vinchester has access to. Now these will be Castle Age Knights versus Castle Age Knights. The Knight numbers really starting to build up for 3DB. See the gold and food being spent here. Nice economy balance for 3DB. Vinchester get a couple of villagers killed here on this gold vein. That's going to be quite nice for him. 3 knights doing so. I don't know. 3DB's not reacting to this. I think he's confident. He's got enough villagers to deal with this. We do see some crossbows. A bit of a crossbow switch for 3DB to counteract the knights. But 3DB does have so much map control with the army he has on the field here. Knights going to be taking out a fishing ship there. Not every day you see this. And that fishing ship does go down eventually. The Knights raiding have been taken out by a couple of the crossbows and the Knights for the Rus. 20 minutes into the game almost. 3DB looking strong. Let's take a look at the military count. 39 for 3DB, mostly Knights, a couple of crossbows. With the military count only 7 for Vinchester, the economy not really facilitating his army production here. And the Knights just being brought home for 3DB. Going to take care of these raids. The Knights do take care of the raids, and that's probably going to head further forward here. Vinchers have begun to be under a lot of pressure. Couple of knights, 5 of them. They're going to try and still harass this wood line, but look at the military count. There's just knights everywhere for 3DB, and I think he's just going to group together and start attacking. Look how many he's got. It's just too much for Vinchester to cope with. Bringing in relics now, solidifying his position even further with those relics. Gold vein has now expired for 3DB. Does have another one with about 1,000 gold left. But he's pumping army out like mad. 44 predominantly knights, 9 army for Vinchester. Just a matter of time now, you feel. 3DB needs one big fight. Probably going to head into the heart of the base. Vinchester going to struggle. He's been scouted out as well. Relics being brought in again. Another one. Knights are being trickled in, trying to get villager kills, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough here. That knight, once it's taken down, get the feeling 3DB is going to be heading further forward now. Got his knights to actually just clump out the gold here. I think Vinchester knows he's behind, very behind. Looking to get the sacred site now, 3DB as well. Or perhaps not, it's just going to activate it because it's picking up the relic on the way. Another relic looking to be taken here, perhaps. We shall see. Again, the knights have been taken down. The crossbows, a second town centre coming out for 3DB, solidifying his position. He's not being too aggressive at this point. He's just going to make sure, playing this one cautiously. Does have the western pond as well. Not fishing all that much though. Doesn't really need to be. I think Vinchester trying to build up a knight army with a couple of spearmen dotted in, but this little bit of a... Oh my god, that's a big army coming forward now. Vinchester going to be under the pressure. 3DB rushing in with a heck of a lot of knights. 36 of them to be exact. He's going to take a charge here and he's going to progress further forward. Vinchester knows he's out. He's down and out. He taps out and 3DB takes the game on Mega Random. The battle between the Rus and the English ends with the Rus prevailing. I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and if you did, if you're on YouTube, do give the video a thumbs up. If you're on Twitch, stick around. We'll be carrying on. Take care and see you next time.